Hey everybody, this is Laura from the Live4Love Challenge. Welcome to day one. It is Sunday, February 14th, and it's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to you all. I make my little heart. I've got my love shirt on. Anyway, welcome to the challenge. Today, the challenge theme is prioritize play, and I thought that would be a perfect thing to do on Valentine's Day. I'd like to tell you a little bit about why prioritizing play was part of Prince's key sort of habits and behaviors that made him who he was, and a little bit about what happened when I tried to prioritize play for a whole month in July of 2019. And then it'll be your turn, and I'll have some instructions for you and how you can prioritize play today. And then come on over to the Facebook group and tell us how it went. But first, a little bit about Prince and play. So it's a little bit counterintuitive to start with play in terms of how you live like Prince, because most people, I think, if they know anything about how Prince worked, would say he was just an extraordinarily hard worker. I mean, let's just say it, he was a workaholic. So and that's true, and he was, but what I'm here to argue is that on the flip side, he was also someone who played hard when he played. And let's just say basketball and ping pong. I mean, anyway, so really one of my favorite Prince videos, and one that shows him at play, is Gangster Glam from 1992. So in Gangster Glam was a really special video because I think it was different than a lot of Prince videos. It was very in the moment, and it showed Prince and the New Power Generation, his band at the time, out playing, just enjoying Minneapolis's brief but beautiful summertime. And I was able to interview Liesl Ovante a couple of years ago. Liesl is the model and actress who performed with Prince in that video. And she told me an interesting backstory. So here's your little Prince nugget of the day. When Liesl had been out that summer's day boating on Lake Minnetonka, as that's what one does in Minnesota in the summer. And she told me her hair was just standing on end because it'd been blowing in the wind on the boat all day. She was all kind of windblown and red-cheeked, and she got home and the phone rang. And it was Prince, and he said, "Hey, do you want to come on over to Paisley Park? We're fooling around with a video camera, so come on over and bring all of your best dresses." And Liesl said to herself, video camera, fooling around, this sounds a little dangerous. But she decided to go anyway. So she grabbed her best dresses, threw them over her arm, and headed over to Paisley Park. When she got there, she said she was shocked because there was a crew and there was hair and makeup, and she just said, "Are we filming something? Like, what's going on here?" And boom, it just happened in the moment. They started filming, and Prince just told her the music is going to start to play and we're just going to go with it. So I think the whole video of Gangster Glam was just an act of play and spontaneity. And they start at Paisley Park, where Prince has got all of his best cars lined up in front of Paisley Park, and then the action moves to Prince's house on Galpin Road, where you can see him in a mankini, barefoot, which that shocks me just as much, and doing push-ups poolside. So then finally the action moves to downtown Minneapolis, where you could see Liesl and Prince driving in his canary yellow BMW downtown, and she said they went to the Perimeter nightclub, which was the sort of hotspot at the time. So that was pre-Glam Slam. I don't know why they didn't go to Glam Slam. They went to the Perimeter, though. So that, to me, is just exemplifies Prince's playful spirit. But there are so many stories of Prince playing, around Chanhassen and biking, hopping on his bike and just going down the bike paths to Lake Ann Park. I met the parks director in Chanhassen when I lived there, and he told me he would see Prince and Manny just doing circles around the park and looping around. And even just the weekend before he died, Prince was spotted biking around the parking lot of the Office Depot in Chanhassen. So he was out and about all the time. He knew how to have fun. He'd go to the movies. He'd rent out the whole theater, the Chanhassen Theater, for the night, and just go see a movie and treat everyone to popcorn. So he loved to play. And when I did this in July of 2019, I of course took it to the extreme, and I created a lot of ways to play in my routine. Two of the memorable things I did was that I learned how to paddleboard on Lake Ann, which is one of the lakes where Prince's property bordered, Lake Ann and Lake Lucy. Chanhassen has 9 lakes, so Minnesotan. Anyway, so I did that, and then I hosted a movie night for my friends where we watched Purple Rain, and I had a very talented stylist friend come, and she did everyone's hair and makeup so they looked like glamorous Apollonia of the 1980s, and we all dressed up and looked all glam and watched Purple Rain and just had the best time. So those were a couple ways I played in July 2019. It was probably one of my most physically tiring months. Like, I literally ran around with a whole agenda of play. But it was also exhilarating. So what I want you to do today, this is over to you now. You don't have to have any big plans. You don't have to have a movie night. Obviously, that's a hard thing to do right now with your friends. I guess you can do it with your family, but it doesn't have to be that big. I mean, if you have a ping pong table, I think you should play ping pong. Or you could just turn on the music, blast the music in your car, when you're out driving, doing errands, and just belt out a song, or dance around the kitchen while you're making dinner. It can be really small things that just feel spontaneous and just inject a little pop of play into your day. So I'd love to hear how you inject some play into your day today. I guess it could be romantic play, like just reach out and hold your husband's hand while you're both standing in the kitchen, like one of those old school, middle school displays of affection, whatever it is. I hope you have some fun with it today. So head on over to the Facebook group and share with us how you played today. Happy Valentine's Day.